Hello, my name is Quinn Kalmansson. I am a professional cellist and a pre-medical student. I wanted to record one of the Bach suites in collaboration with the Center for Performing Arts Medicine as a way to say thank you to all of the healthcare professionals who are giving so much work during this pandemic, and as a way to offer a few moments of comfort and of spiritual rejuvenation to everybody during these trying times. So I want to give some context and some more information about this piece. So it is written, in fact, for solo cello, no other instruments, but it is not just one musical line. Bach's goal in writing all of these suites is to try to encapsulate as many voices as he can into a single texture. So I'll give an example, which is just the very first four measures that you'll hear of this piece, and I think you'll recognize them. So here we have three voices, or three musical lines, moving in perfect counterpoint. First, we have the bass. And that goes the whole time. Then we have the middle voice, which starts here and moves up by step. And then resolves. And we have the top voice, or the soprano voice. So each of these three voices have their own identity, and what's amazing is when you combine the three of them, you get something completely new with its own character, its own identity that we recognize as being the prelude to the first G major suite, right? So. That's one thing. Another thing, one of my favorite moments in the whole suite, again in the prelude, there's this, right before the triumphant return of the theme, right at the end, there's this long chromatic ascending line that kind of gives us a sense of just like floating in the air, like we jumped in and we jumped a little too high, and we're, oh my goodness, right? So, so I wanted to play that too. And then we get the whole triumphant thing at the end. So each suite starts with a prelude and then is followed by 5 French dances. There are the allemande, the courante, the sarabande, either minuets, bourrées, or gavottes, depending on which suite you're in. And then finally, to wrap it all up, a jig. And they each have their own character and their own identifying characteristics. So the allemande is very relaxed, very laid back, very lyrical, very serious. It's a slower dance, and so it's characterized by this 16th note pickup that you'll hear. Right, usually when we have picks, it's more something like that, but it's quicker. It kind of gives it a little bit of lightness, and then it's very lyrical. Again, we have these voices coming out of the texture, right? We fall all the way down to the bass, then we fall all the way back up to the soprano, and all the way back down to the bass. Next up is the courante, and in French I think that means running. Right, or flowing like a river or something, and so the dance is very fast, it's very lively, it's always moving forward, always a lot of forward energy, and so you'll hear these figures like, right, the whole thing leads, and also you'll hear this repeated figure, which is really fun. You feel that everywhere. virtuosity. You have to work on it for a long time. Next up is the saraband, and this is the most stately of the dances, very slow. And if you ever see somebody do the saraband, which I can't, but you'll see that they always stress the second beat out of 3. So it's always 1, 2, and then they rise up on their tiptoe like this and put their hands up above their head or something, right? So it's always 1, 2, 3, or something like that, right? And so what this means for the music here is that the most important part of the phrasing always happens on the second beat, instead of something like a waltz where it's always 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So here is 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Next we have the minuets that come in a pair. First you have 1 in major, then you have 1 in minor, and then you come back to the 1 in major. So it's like something very serious bookended by something very nice. It's almost like, it's like the standard model for criticism. You always start with what's good, then you always get some constructive feedback, and then you always go back to what's good. I really like this about your performance, or something like that. So, we could. That's the major one, now the minor. And this one's really particularly beautiful for me. I like this a lot. So if you kind of isolate these hidden voices we've been talking about, you get something that's like. Sounds like a, Renaissance lute or something. I don't know. I think it's great. And then you go back and the triumphant return. And then last we have the jig, which celebratory 6/8, kind of like a bar song or something. And everyone's together. It's a whole chorus, everybody. And how do you get that feeling with the one instrument? Well, it all has to do with the character, but. There's a lot of different voices in here, which are fun to bring out, like. And then, of course, the whole thing ends. We come back to G major, celebratory. And the whole thing draws to a close. So I hope that helps give some insight to the piece, and I hope that you enjoy.
Thank you.